Okay, I hope. Did you guys get a message saying like I'm recording or whatever?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so today's lesson, just gonna be like pretty like basic stuff. Just gonna be like leadership and like basic Marine Corps knowledge. Yeah, so tomorrow, I'm gonna teach y'all like rifle drill. It's just gonna be like gun show stuff. So just like port arms, order arms. I might teach you guys like a little bit more stuff. Nguyen, you're probably gonna help me with this, or Erickson. Erickson's not here though. Um, but yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so the ranks for the officer. So of course, first one, second lieutenant. This is what we're all going to be commissioning. Like day one. And then first lieutenant, which is O2. Um, this is, I believe, after 2 years, you're automatically like promoted to second lieutenant. Like I don't think there's any way. I think it's exactly like going from private to PFC. Nguyen, am I right on that?
Yeah, pretty much automatic promotions until '03,
Yeah. Okay.
just longer.
Yeah. O3 captain. This is what Captain Guthman is, of course. And then we got O4, which is major. O5, lieutenant colonel. O6, colonel. O7, brigadier general. And then major general, lieutenant general, and then general. So I don't know if any of you guys know this, but whenever you see like O1, E1, like WO1, W is warrant officer. We'll go over that in like 2 slides. That's like the pay grade. So like you're never gonna call someone like, oh, like what are you? You're not gonna be like, oh, like I'm a like E1. You're just gonna say like, okay, I'm a private. So to memorize the four general ranks, there's a little like ditty, I guess. It's called Be My Little General. So it's brigadier general for the B, major general for the my for the M, lieutenant general for the L, and then just general for the 4 stars. And then so there's a 5 star rank, but that's only reserved for wartime. And then we have the enlisted ranks. So E1 private. Then we got private first class or just PFC, which is 1 chevron. And then we got lance corporal, which is the chevron and the rifles. Nguyen, shout out to you. Then we have corporal, which is the 2 chevrons, and then sergeant, which is the 3, and then staff sergeant is where you get your first rocker, and then from there, throughout the ranks, you just get more rockers. So gunnery sergeant E7, which is these are going to be your main sergeant instructors over at OCS. You're going to have a couple staff sergeants there. My cycle, we had a sergeant, but that was like our sergeants, our platoon sergeant said that was like very rare. Like he's never seen that. And then, so this is where it gets a little bit confusing for the enlisted ranks. So there's two E8s. So there's master sergeant and there's first sergeant. And then for E9, there's also 2 ranks. There's master gunnery sergeant and the sergeant major. So first sergeant has the diamond on it. It's the same amount of rockers as a master sergeant. And then the master gunnery sergeant and the sergeant major have the same number of rockers, but the master gunnery sergeant, you can call it a pineapple. I know it as a bursting bomb. And then sergeant major is the star, and the sergeant major of the Marine Corps, which is E9, so that's like the highest enlisted rank. That is the EGA and the 2 stars on the side of it. And then we have warrant officer. Warrant officer is kind of rare. So we have WO1, and then chief warrant officer, and then basically for the chief warrant officer, it just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another bursting bomb. So leadership principles. So these are pretty important, especially for OCS. You guys like will be tested on this. So number 1 is be technically and tactically proficient. Number 2 is know yourself and seek self-improvement. 3, know your men and look out for their welfare. Number 4, keep your men informed. Number 5, set the example. Number 6, ensure that the task is understood, supervised, and accomplished. Number 7, train your men as a team. Number 8, make sound and timely decisions. Number 9, develop a sense of responsibility among subordinates. Number 10, employ your command in accordance with its capabilities. And number 11, seek responsibility, and take responsibility for your actions. So I'm gonna let you guys like read over this for a quick minute, like think about like each one. Um, and then since we don't have very many people right now, I'm gonna like call on someone. Actually, I'm gonna call on all of you and like ask you which one you think is the most important and like why. All right, yeah. So I'll give you guys like 1 minute. Small responsibility. All right, I'm gonna go in the order of which I see it. So Nguyen, you're first. Which one do you think is like the most important and why? There's no wrong answers, by the way. Just whatever you think.
Number three, know your men, look out for the warfare. As you know, if you're a Marines, you make sure they're performing under you as best as they can. And you can only do that by looking out for them. And when they get out, they're a better person when they, before they even came into the Marine Corps.
Nice, I like it. Dilts.
I was also going to say number three, although I think we're all pretty important, but yeah, I'm not trying to like copy the win, but like similar reasons.
Right.
Change only as strong as its weakest link, all that kind of stuff.
All right, nice. Seth, give us a different one.
I'll go with number five. Set the example, just because like, especially like OCS, it's like all leadership. You want to direct people, so like it'll help them achieve their goals.
Nice, I like it. Yeah, at OCS, the saying "Ductus exemplo," it's Latin for lead by example. So I like it. Abram.
Yeah, I think for me it's train your men as a team because of course when you're on the field you'll do all the leading and everything else that comes along as a leader, but to have a team work together is like that the guy beside you will be there for you, like he's looking out for you, you're looking out for them. So training them your men as a team is very important because you all know that you got each other's back.
All right, I like it. All good answers. Nice. All right. Next up, we have leadership traits. So the ditty for this one is JJ did type buckle. This is like a way to like memorize it. So we have justice, judgment, dependability, initiative, decisiveness, tact, integrity, endurance, bearing, unselfishness, courage, knowledge, loyalty, and enthusiasm. So as you guys know, like the reason why I'm doing these lessons, like I'm gonna be quizzing you guys, right? And you guys have been doing a lot more than just like answering the question. Like you guys are gonna be doing some rifle drill with it. So some things that I'm gonna be looking for, like leadership traits that I'm gonna be looking for in you guys, is initiative. So that's the initiative to like actually, like watch these videos like you guys are, and then like studying them. So, and I'm also gonna be looking for integrity too. So if like you don't know the answer, like tell me you don't know. Don't like try and like give me some like wild answer. Just tell me that you don't know, and then next time come back like with the answer. And then bearing. So bearing, I don't know if you guys know what the definition of bearing is, but it's kind of like keeping like, I like to describe it as like keeping like a straight face, It's like if something's like funny, like if someone's doing an inspection, they say something funny, like I don't want to see you guys like laughing. Or if it's a little bit intimidating for you, I don't want to see you guys be intimidated. I want you guys to have like a straight face, like you guys like you belong there. And then courage is kind of the same thing a little bit too, like the courage to like speak up and answer it, and the courage too to say if you don't know the answer, and knowledge, like actually knowing the answer. And along with enthusiasm as well, You know, like I don't want you guys just like answer, you know, just like oh, okay, like what's the leadership trait that like you know, like oh, okay, like integrity, you know, like actually say it. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing as leadership principles. I'm gonna ask you guys like which one's most important to you, and same order. Nguyen, you're up first. So just tell me which one's important and why.
Just judgment. It's cool. When you exercise positive judgment, make sure the Marines are either like getting awarded for their hard work. I mean, it's bad judgment if they're getting jacked and the other guy gets the same pay like him. At the same time, someone messes up, but you're freaking tough but fair type of thing.
Like, all right, Dilts.
Maybe unselfishness. You got to look out for your men. Responsibility for them. Officers supposed to eat last. Just all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, especially at OCS 2, once you have like a higher billet, like I said, eating last, like you will be the last one to eat. Like if you're the candidate company commander, you will be the last one to eat in the whole entire company. So Seth.
I'm gonna go with loyalty because like it shows that you care for other people, and it will show like commitment as well.
Okay, nice. Abram.
I think it would be unselfishness because, of course, as a leader, you're serving your men, and it's not just, oh, I want to do this because I'm going to gain this out of doing this act, the just doing things unselfishly is that you're doing it because you care for the men and you really want to focus on the mission at hand and everything else.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Especially at OCS 2. Like being really unselfish, like especially in the squad bait, it's gonna help you out a lot. Like you're gonna make a lot of friends, you know, and like friends like really are really important there. Like they're gonna help you like get through like when like times are tough and like especially if like you're doubting yourself, like they're gonna be there for you. So, you know, if like you see your buddy who's like running out of like tape, you know, just like hand him a roll, you know, just be unselfish. So next one, I know this looks like a lot of writing, but we have the general orders. So this is just general orders of sentry, like if you're on duty. So number one is to take charge of this post and all government property in view. Number two is to walk my post in a military manner, keeping always on the alert and observing everything that takes place within sight or hearing. Number three, to report all violations of orders I'm instructed to enforce. Number four, to repeat all calls from posts more distant from the guardhouse than my own. Number five, to quit my post only when properly relieved. Number six, to receive, obey, and pass on to the sentry who relieves me all orders from the commanding officer, officer of the day, officers and non-commissioned officers of the guard only. Number seven, to talk to no one except on the line of duty. Number eight, to give the alarm in case of fire or disorder. Number nine, to call the corporal of the guard in any case not covered by instructions. Number 10, to salute all officers and all colors and standards not cased. And 11, to be especially watchful at night and during the time for challenging, to challenge all persons on or near my post and to allow no one to pass without proper authority. So the order in which these are is pretty important. So with leadership principles and leadership traits, you can say those in any order, really. But for these, it's very important that you memorize it in order. Because at OCS, like during inspection, they'll ask you like, oh, like what's your fifth general order? And it's always going to be to quit my post only when properly relieved. So it's very important that you guys memorize these in order. Now we're just going to move on to basic Marine Corps knowledge. So the saying for Marines, right, is Semper Fidelis or Semper Fi, just shortened, and this is Latin for always faithful. So, and our core values are going to be honor, courage, and commitment. And this is also very important. Every single Marine knows this. Our birthday is November 10th, 1775. So we're older than the United States of America. It was also founded in Tun Tavern in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is also like extremely important for you to know. Like if you're going to be a Marine, these are the two things that you need to know: the birthday and where it was founded. And the oldest post in the Marine Corps is 8th and I. Now everybody should know this as well. So our Commandant of the Marine Corps is General Eric Smith. He's like the top of the Marine Corps. Like he's the one who reports to the Secretary of the Navy. And then we have our Sergeant Major Ruiz. And so he's like the enlisted advisor to the Commandant. And I believe he was personally selected by him. So everybody should know these. Like I will quiz you guys on who these people are. Now, as you guys know, we're going to be using drill with rifles. They're going to be dummy rifles, right? So, I mean, there's no chance of anybody being hurt with them. But I expect you guys to use these weapons like they were real, right? So I don't want to see you guys like flogging people, which is like pointing the barrel at them. Like I want you guys to act like these are real rifles. So that's why I'm going to teach you guys some rifle knowledge right now, and especially the weapon safety. So the service weapon that you're going to be using at OCS is the M16A4. You guys will only be shooting blanks, so you guys aren't going to be doing any rifle quals, none of that. The characteristics of the M16A4 is it's a lightweight, magazine-fed, gas-operated, air-cooled, shoulder-fired weapon. And the ditty for this one to remember is LM gas. And it's going to fire 5.56 millimeter rounds. But of course, like I said, OCS, only blanks. And it's going to weigh about 8 pounds empty and 9 pounds with a 30-round magazine. And the max effective range is 550 meters at a point target and 800 meters with an area target. So weapon safety rules. So this is what I expect you guys to have in your mind at all times when you guys are handling the rifles, and honestly, just any weapon in general. So number one, it's treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Number two, never point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Number three, keep your finger straightened off the trigger until you are ready to fire. And number four, keep your weapon on safe until you intend to fire. So these are the only four that I expect you guys to memorize and keep in your head, because number five is like kind of an unofficial one. So number five is know your target and what lies beyond it in between. In my opinion, I also believe that this one's really important, but the first four are like the most important. And you guys have to memorize these in order as well. Especially like 3 and 4 are really important, because number 3, like you have the safety off, right? But number 4, you have it on. Now we're just going to go to the weapons conditions. So weapon condition 1 is the safety on, magazine inserted, round in chamber, bolt forward, ejection port cover closed. And condition 2, it's not applicable to the M16A4 service rifle, so you guys don't have to worry about condition 2. And condition 3 has the safety on, magazine inserted, no rounded chamber, bolt forward, ejection port cover closed. And then condition 4, which is safety on, magazine removed, no rounded chamber, bolt forward, and ejection port cover closed. So I like to like how I memorized these was like the weapon is just getting like safer and safer as you go, right? Because in condition 1, you have a round in chamber, and then condition 3, it's out of the weapon, and then with condition 4, you have just the magazine removed. So like when you guys are doing drill, your weapons are always going to be on condition 4. So that's it. That's all I have today. I know today was a pretty short lesson, but it's just like basic knowledge for you guys. I don't want to throw too much on you, especially if we're going to be doing like quiz and stuff like that. I didn't want to hop into like some pretty detailed stuff. I just want to keep it simple. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's all I have for today.